Researchers in Utah are leading the way when it comes to collecting DNA in sexual assault cases. The forensic nurse who's at the forefront is pushing to change the standards across the country.
Oh, this was when I was in Hawaii. I was just leaving school.
In the blink of an eye, your life can change forever.
Please look older. It's dulled me down from the bright light that I feel like I used to be, to someone that's just barely surviving.
Your views, your opinions shattered because of someone else's actions.
I've had months and months of being suicidal every day. I've had times where even in my room with the door locked, I'm pacing my room because I feel unsafe. My name is Monica Gardner, and I am a survivor of sexual assault, abuse, and adulthood rape.
Monica knows the pain of sexual assault too well. But technology developed in Utah is giving her hope.
I think there's something that is validating in that, to say, like, here's another step, another piece that says I'm telling the truth.
Every perpetrator in a sexual assault case leaves behind answers. Answers researchers in Utah are helping to find.
And in 2011, there was a case on a campus where a young woman was violently assaulted and groped.
Dr. Julie Valentine, a forensic nurse and nursing professor, explains the groundbreaking case that changed the way some DNA evidence is collected.
When the nurse walked into the room to greet the patient, she was finishing a sandwich and a soda. And anytime you activate the salivary enzymes, you destroy the DNA. So the nurse thought, well, I know that our crime lab has these improved DNA analysis methods. Maybe I'll just ask her everywhere she was touched.
She's referring to touch DNA, which is DNA from skin cells. Traditionally, it hasn't been used in sexual assault and groping cases.
Well, it turned out we got a full STR DNA profile of the suspect.
That means they were able to identify the assailant. Dr. Valentine says this was a turning point.
If you are a victim of a groping or a sexual assault and you think, oh, the person didn't ejaculate or there were no bodily fluids, that does not mean that we cannot collect evidence. So the most important thing is you know that you're in charge and this is your exam.
This video is of a staged exam.
She said it was right in this area, correct?
She is not a victim of assault, rather a student researcher, showing us how it's done.
I had a case where a victim had been taken by two men, and one man held her down on her upper body while she was raped by the other man.
She says both men were identified using touch DNA. Dr. Valentine is now working with the National Institute for Justice to create best practice guidelines for touch DNA in sexual assault and groping cases. Throughout the last 4 years, she has created a series of webinars and presentations to teach professionals in other states and countries about how they too can use touch DNA in these cases.
When DNA tests first came out, you needed about a quarter size of bodily fluid, but that's just not the case. The science has advanced.
So far, the researchers have found a match in about 21% of cases that utilize touch DNA.
It really is this new tool in the toolbox for investigation, but we also have to be cautious to always look at everything in context and look at this as a piece of the investigation and prosecution.
Unfortunately, touch DNA is only part of the puzzle. Another piece is testing a significantly higher number of rape kits and understanding their scientific value. The NIJ explains that untested rape kits are a national problem. There is no national system for collecting rape kit data, making it nearly impossible to know how bad the problem really is. There are numerous states where limited reform has been enacted, but there is still much more to do. That's why Valentine and the rest of her team are continuing to work behind the scenes to change the future for survivors like Monica. This technology was not around to help in her case, but she's hopeful it will help others get justice.
This is going to empower the survivor to say, no, I can prove that you were there. I can prove that you touched my body. because there's DNA evidence.
In Utah, with photojournalist Luis Ramirez, I'm Jessie Cohen reporting.